Yo, probably gonna do a short one of these. I want to do something a little bit easier than. Wow, my ears just popped, so I sound really funny to myself. I wanted to do something a little bit longer than one of the shorts, but I didn't want to do something that took as long as making a video, just because that takes filming the video, uploading it, editing it. It takes it's just a bunch of stuff I don't want to do. Yeah. Although I do want to make a video later, I just don't want it to be uh, one of these types of videos, and I want to do something longer than short, kind of a little bit of a recap um, of the week since I was doing a bunch of shorts, and maybe that's what I'll do is I'll try to do a short every day, um, hopefully in the morning, and then on the weekends when I have more time like this, maybe do one of these live streams and kind of go a little bit more in depth in what the week was like, or whatever I'm working on, kind of like a follow along type video. Not really sure yet, or maybe make like an actual edited video during that time, either an animation or something like that. I have at least two video essay style things that I want to do about songs that I think were pretty impactful or important. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was rewatching a bunch of these videos. Got Johanna over here. I was watching some of the old videos that I made earlier this year, just because it's like halfway through the year. It's interesting to kind of look back and see how much is going on and changed and everything in that time. So this was a first week with like a regular 9 to 5 schedule. I did do Sunday, but the rest of the week, or last Sunday, which will go in this paycheck, but the rest of the week was just Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, which I loved. It was nice to get out of work last night and just kind of hang out with a friend for a little bit. Um, Especially right at work, there's a nice little second floor patio deck area that's pretty big. Some like a little lounge area, and that was interesting. That was just fun. Um, did make it hard to get some work done on the guitars, but I did get all of the sanding on all of these pieces to the 400 grit, which is pretty smooth. Um, but I have sandpaper up to 3,000. So, uh, what? Sorry, I had a late night. So I want to get all of them to that point because I have already got these. I don't know if it picks up on the camera that well, but you can see it's like shiny. By the time you get to the 3,000, it's less sanding and it's almost just like polishing. So I'm very happy with like how this came out and how this one came out. It's nice that it's got the bevel on the side like the skateboard would have. I feel like it kind of gives it a border so that the graphic pops out a little bit. Um, so plus it just feels so nice. It's so smooth. Um, all that's left on these is because this isn't quite. Again, I gotta get better at this camera thing. These two things are not quite flush with the rest of the wood, so I need to take the Dremel. I don't know how to Dremel, the rotary tool, and just kind of sand those down to the point where they're flush, just because that way I can really get into these corners and everything. And then I'm gonna re-drill the holes for the bridge into this. And then I think I'm going to figure out a way to make kind of some covers. just some round covers, maybe out of the veneer that I already have that can fit over that and make it look a little bit more uniform. And then the rest of these pieces, just need to still get polished or sanded down with the other grit. That really doesn't take as long. I just fly through that. It takes about 20 minutes, so each one. So I think I can get that all done in about an hour. Yeah, tops. I think I can get the rotary tool part done probably in like 10, 15 minutes. That's not going to take very long. And get the parts. Another hour to finish up the front part of that. Once I have those two things done, all that's really left is on this one. I need to make these holes just, I think, a little bit bigger for... No, I don't even think I need to do that. Well, I think the only thing I need to do actually after this one is drill the holes in this piece so that it fits here, and then I can attach the tuning pegs. So that's cool. And then it's just attaching the neck and making sure that I got shims in it so that the action's correct and the strings don't hit the frets any place along the neck, and I'll have the two working guitars. So very excited for that. Again, I think I can get that done later today. If not, then definitely by the end of the day tomorrow. Because there's just not that much work. It's about an hour of sanding. It's about an hour with the power tools, redrilling the holes, and probably another hour, let's say, to attach both the necks. I do want to make sure that I get motivated to do that today, but also it's been a busy week. I worked all week. I went to the gym before work all week. I've done sanding or skateboarding or something like that after work. Been trying not to run myself ragged, but having a day off here where I'm not feeling stressed or too rushed or too pushed would be nice. I think that I can kind of relax, get this place cleaned up, because obviously everything's in shambles right now. And maybe later this afternoon finish doing the sanding, and then break out the router and do the routering this evening, and then maybe even just tonight drill a hole in the neck and attach the necks to the guitars. So again, I think I can do it at a pretty slow pace and still get it done. And even if I don't, I have tomorrow. So after this, I think I'm going skating just to blow off a little bit of steam and get that energy out and build back up again a little bit, because you need that. What else? Pretty big into politics, and this has been a crazy time, obviously, between what happened with Trump last week and what's been going on with Biden for most of this year, and probably longer, obviously. But I definitely started to feel like, I know they always say, well, this is the most important election, and this is the most important election, and this is the most important election. And I think we should start looking and asking why our politic is so bad that every election is so important. Not that elections shouldn't be important, but I don't think everyone should be such a risk. I do worry with Donald Trump that his election would be the beginning of a more authoritarian path for this country. I don't think that Donald Trump in and of himself is the culprit or ruining America. I think that he's just kind of more of a tumor on the outside of a cancer that's been growing for decades and decades and decades and decades and centuries. Let's just say centuries. Um, so I think that there's a split in American uh, thought. There's one side of this that sees every person as equal. You know, that doesn't really matter what your job title is, how much money you have, what your thing is. At the end of the day, every human life is equal in value. In a sense, you can't really put a value to it. Um, and then I think the other side of that looks at it and goes, no, there is a difference between people. Some people just are better. There are just people that are just born better, just are better. Um, and our society should reflect that. And it does reflect that. Um, I think that I go with the former instead of the latter. Uh, I don't believe that anyone's better than anyone else. I think that people are better at things than other people. I think that maybe there are people I know there are people that are better at riding a skateboard, or better at playing the guitar, or better at making guitar, or better at making pizza, or any number of things. But I don't think that any of those skills um, make anyone better at or a better person than someone else. I don't think that somebody being better at math. Um, I don't think that somebody being smarter makes them better, um, stronger, any of these things. It makes them better at certain things. If you're a smarter person, you're going to be better at problem solving. But I don't think everything in life is about problem solving. If you're a stronger person, you're going to be better at lifting and doing heavy work. But I don't think everything in life is about lifting and doing heavy work. It's just that these are things that do pop up. Uh, and the idea that we should share share the work of life to make it easier for everyone um, makes a lot of sense. But it's starting to feel like much like the would you rather would you rather run into a band of men or a bear in the woods? It's like person would you rather deal with a lion or capitalism? As in, do we just go back to the pre-civilization days where we're just running around dodging predators and trying to catch prey versus stuck in a commute on our way to a 9 to 5 to pay all the bills that we have to pay to live in the society that we were just born into. Um, I think that enough people see it that way that I know that Donald Trump is probably not going to win again, regardless of who the Democrats run. I think even if Joe Biden stays in the race, good chance he still wins. I don't think people will be super happy about it. I think he's got the least chance, or the worst chance of beating Trump, but I think everyone beats Trump. I just don't think there's enough people that like Donald Trump at this point. I know that the people that do like him love him, but I just don't think that that's enough. Although, who knows? It does, from what I'm looking at, seem like everything's kind of riding on Pennsylvania. Um, Regardless of the rest of the swing states, without having Pennsylvania, it doesn't really seem possible for um, either one of them to win. So I guess it's going to be whoever wins Pennsylvania. No idea what that means for the popular vote or whatever else, but obviously the one that matters is the Electoral College, and that's going to be riding on Penny. Um, so I do think that it would do the Democrats better to learn a lesson from Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying while still a justice, and the fact that when she did die was at a time where they couldn't appoint another justice due to a hostile Congress. Um, pretty sure Senate, uh, and the fact that we have now lost um, a woman's right to decide if she gets an abortion or not because of that seems maybe like an important lesson to learn. Um, Same thing with Dianne Feinstein. When you see pictures of her, you'd think the Democrats could learn by now that maybe the fact that they keep running into this wall of, well, we don't have anyone else is because they haven't pushed or developed or grown anyone else. They haven't looked at the people that are popular and new and found ways to promote them and develop them within it, and instead have really pushed those people aside in order to hold on to the power that they have. Um, I was talking with a friend who's a little bit more of a uh, centrist liberal type, and she will describe people like Bernie Sanders, uh, AOC, the squad, as radical. And I asked her, what is radical? Like, what about them is radical? Um, and couldn't get an answer. If anyone sees this and wants to leave a comment uh, telling me what radical thing they did, that would be great. Um, but yeah, I just don't see these people as radicals in any way. Maybe through like an Overton window type sense, sitting outside of that as they do makes them radical. But I don't know a policy or a thing that they've said or anything that somebody could tell me that I'm like, oh well, that tracks. That's definitely a radical statement. So I guess that would be interesting to find out. Um, I think that if Biden drops out soon, it does lead the way to, well, they'll probably just push Kamala Harris into it. Makes the most sense. I think logistically it makes the most sense as well. Um, but if they did kind of open it up to a shotgun primary type situation, I think that they could do a really good job, really dominating the news for themselves for the next couple of months. Get people interested. One of the complaints I hear over and over again is that our elections go on forever, so maybe something that kind of sped that process up and made it more punchy would be good for getting people engaged and involved in our process. But I doubt they'll do that. I just don't. I don't. I think that a lot of times the Democrats coast by on the fact that a majority of Americans really hate the Republicans. Well, not hate, but a majority of Americans are Democrats. I think it's like 60% of the registered voters are Democrat. I think that if you look, most of the popular vote goes to Democrats, regardless of the Electoral College. Like most actual people in this country are Democrat, or um, I'm not even left leaning. I wouldn't say, because I don't think that Democrats are on the left, but at least not Republican. Like most Americans, I think, are more anti-Republican, anti what Republicans stand for, um, which is becoming more and more clear. They stand for, well, governance is really hard and thinking is hard, and most people are stupid, so we should just have a king again. And I think that the average American living in a country that was founded on fighting a king was like, yeah, that's not a good idea. I won't do that. But I think the Democrats ride the fact that people disagree with the Republicans enough to vote against them as them being politically um, skilled. Like, um, but it feels like they are some of the most politically incompetent people. Um, and what they're better at doing than the politicking is, just holding on to power that they have. Like that, they seem very good at. Does seem like most of the leadership, if we're being real, are probably very manipulative people that are good at getting power for themselves. But that doesn't necessarily make you good at politics or um, I don't even mean a good politician. I mean just good at politics is like the act of being in politics. But all right, I need to go wake up a little bit, so I need to go ride my skateboard. I think this is a long enough video. I might try to do an edited video later. Like I said, I want to do some animations. I do have video of me making a pizza from like a month ago that I wanted to use. I think I had some skateboard clips that I wanted to upload, but I can't remember. No, I think I did those as a long one. Anyways, I do have some stuff that I wanted to put up, but I have not had the time. But again, I think now that I got a schedule going, this next week should be a little bit easier to stick to that and be be productive in evenings after I get back from work. So I will obviously see you all later and have a good weekend. Peace.